Hello everybody, welcome to the Flat Squirrel Syndrome. What a title! I always find it amazing, the power of headlines to attract people, and clearly this has done. You know, there's loads of people watching today, and I thank you for doing so. Probably slightly intrigued as to what on earth is this on about. It's certainly not on about flat squirrels, that is for sure, but rather we're using it as a metaphor. So welcome, thank you for being here. My name is Steve Mills. I've spent the last 28 years helping small businesses to market themselves, to create sales, to create leads. Now, I've been doing these LinkedIn Lives for quite a while now, and we're not only live on LinkedIn, but through a piece of software called StreamYard, we're also live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and also on my podcast. Now, my podcast is linked to 30 radio stations. It's also linked to iTunes, and it's linked to Amazon Music. And do you know what? Isn't that fantastic that I can be here, sat in my office, talking on all those different medias for virtually no money at all. It just cost a little bit for StreamYard and a little bit for my podcast, and off I go. So that's not really to try and, big myself up. It's just more to get you thinking about perhaps you should have a podcast, and you should have your own show on LinkedIn Live and so on and so forth. But anyway, thank you for being here. I'm going to respect your time and try and keep it, reasonably short to about quarter of an hour. I occasionally do go over to about 20 minutes, but hopefully you'll be able to stick around if I do. So, you're probably still thinking, what on earth is this about? What is Steve talking about? The flat squirrel syndrome. It's a syndrome that I've seen so often in business. It is unbelievable. And imagine the scenario. You're a squirrel. You're in the middle of the road and you're thinking, shall I go right? Shall I go left? There's a car coming. I need to go somewhere. Where shall I go? I'm a flat squirrel. That's basically what happens often, and why, sadly we see lots of animals, whether it's squirrels or rabbits or badgers or whatever, they get caught in the headlights and can't really make any decisions. And so this is, as I say, is a metaphor for that. And why people get caught in the light, certainly from a marketing point of view, is this. They try things. It's like you try moving to the left and then you think, no, perhaps I should move to the right. So in a marketing perspective, people try LinkedIn advertising and think, no, this is not working. I've been doing it a couple of weeks. I've spent 30 quid and I've not won any business. So I'm going to try Facebook advertising. I'm going to go to the left. And then you think, no, that's not working. I had somebody the other day told me, well, I've tried Facebook advertising and it doesn't work in our industry. I said, oh, really? Tell me, what did you actually do? He said, well, we boosted a post. And I said, right, okay. So how long did you boost it for? Oh, 1 day. And how much did you spend? £5. They spent £5, didn't win any business. And now Facebook advertising doesn't work in their industry. How profound is that? That is definitely, flat squirrel syndrome. That is definitely somebody going, you know what, this doesn't work. Let me do something else. And then they find something else that doesn't work. And they go and find something else that doesn't work. And it's all the time trying little things. It's like the squirrel moving a little bit that way and then a little bit that way. They don't actually complete the run, get out of the road, disappear off here. And I think it's true that people don't invest enough time, money and effort in the marketing side of their business. Now, I don't know what you do. We've got different people here, different businesses doing different things, no doubt. But I'd like to bet you that you could do more. You could do, spend more time, spend more money. Once you get proof of concept that something works, why not spend more money? I got a client recently, they're spending $30,000 a month on Facebook advertising. And he said to me, he came to me the other day and he said, what do you think I should do, Steve? I said, well, if I was you, I'd spend 60 grand a month. And he went, yeah, that's a good idea. Now, the reason is for the 30 grand, his return on investment was 180 grand. So you would assume that, give or take a little bit, if he increases that from 30 to 60, he should increase his turnover from 180 to 360. It might not be quite as good, might be a bit better, who knows. But, he's got proof of concept. And that's such an important thing with marketing. If you're going to invest in anything in marketing, you must, I believe anyway, test, and test. Try it out, know your numbers. Once you know your numbers, you can work on improving those numbers and not behave like this flat squirrel going from one thing to another and eventually getting killed. Yeah. So we need to think about, you need to think about your marketing, what you're doing right now, and work out, have you got any flat squirrels there? Have you got anything that actually, do you know what? I was talking to a client this morning who said that he signed up for Yell.com last year. He's been paying every month into Yell, but it's a 12-month contract and he's won zero business from it. So, he's given it a reasonable try and it's not worked. And, would it make sense for him to carry on doing that? Well, probably not. Certainly not doing the same. He needs to change something or improve something about what he's doing. But it might be better going and trying something else. So what I really want you to do and what I want you to get from my talk today is the idea that you can look at what you're doing and you can work out how to do it better or more, or to persevere with it a little bit in order to get the result that you want. Now, I'm assuming that you've got a variety of things that you're doing right now in terms of marketing. Perhaps you're on LinkedIn. Perhaps you're doing LinkedIn Lives. You're doing webinars. You're doing, you're advertising on Google or YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever else it is you're doing. You've almost certainly got a website. You're perhaps on YouTube and Instagram and so on. Again, whatever it is. But my belief, and this is, I think, it's simple, but it's profound. My belief is that you can improve the results that you're getting by focusing not on trying this, trying that, trying something else like the squirrel, but rather being very, very focused in terms of what you're doing. Now, you can't focus on all of it all at once, but if I said to you, look, what do you think's got the most potential within your marketing? Out of all the stuff that you're doing, what's got the most potential? What could be improved the most? And then work on that. Go and work on that. Go and work out what you can do to improve one element of your marketing. Not 45 of them, one of them, just one thing. And keep working at that until you get good at it. Do you know what? I used to play sport at international level. I was a full-time professional table tennis player, believe it or not. And I played full-time for just over 10 years. It was my job. Played in the German Bundesliga, played in the British National League. I got myself to be 6 in England. My goal was always to be world champion. Why not? But never got anywhere near that. But I do believe, because I had a big goal, I pushed myself a lot harder than if I'd have had a small goal. But if I'd have been someone who'd, played table tennis and played tennis and football and cricket and rugby, how good would I have been? I used to see people all the time that were really talented sports people. I used to work for a guy that was actually, and, he was a good footballer, he was good at tennis. He actually played table tennis pretty well as well. He played golf, and guess how good he got? He was never very good. He was never known. He's certainly nowhere near professional at any of those things because he didn't focus, and we need to focus. We need to focus our marketing. Now, obviously, once we get good at one thing, we can work on the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. But I always remember, again, another friend of mine called Andy, who said to me that focus stands for follow one course until satisfied. I really like that. I think that's really, really powerful. I also know of, and many of you will know of Tony Robbins. He talks about the definition of, if you're going to be successful, it comes down to 5 things. 1, you've got to know what you want. What did the squirrel want? It wanted to get out of the way of the car, but it procrastinated. It wasn't sure which way to go. And the truth is, if it had gone in any direction, it would have probably been safe. But hopefully you're able to think about which direction you're going to go to improve the results that you're going to get. So we need to know what we want. We need to, number 2, take action. That was a fault with the squirrel as well, wasn't it? It didn't take action. And if it did, it was like a little bit of action here and a little bit of action there and then a bit more over here, and I'm not quite sure what to do. Sometimes it's just a matter of make your mind up and go for it. The next one is to measure what results you're getting. So in the squirrel's case, it didn't really have time because it didn't stick at it long enough. It gave it a try. Again, it's like me going, well, I'll try playing table tennis, but I've been playing 3 weeks now. I'm not really that good, so I'm going to go and play tennis. I'll play that for a couple of months and then go, oh, do you know what? I'm not very good at that either. Let's try playing cricket. Oh, I'm hopeless at that. Let's do it's just stupid, isn't it? It's going to take perseverance, When I played table tennis, I started when I was 13, and on my 18th birthday, I played against China. And, how amazing was that? 4.5 years. But in those 4.5 years, I never took a day off, ever. Not at all. Christmas Day, holidays, you name it. I never, ever had a day off. I played every single day. And that's what you need to do in terms of marketing. I am on LinkedIn every single day, and I'm posting 4, 5, sometimes up to 10 times every day. Because why? Because I want to get myself known. I want to overcome the biggest problem that's facing all small businesses right now, and that is not the economy, it's not the government, and it's not the whatever else excuses that people make. It's obscurity. Not enough people know you because you're not doing enough to get known. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And I'm not trying to be harsh, I'm just trying to be real. Okay, so Robbins's theory, let's go back to that. So know what you want, take action, notice whether it's working or not. That was step 3. Step 4 is if it's not working, change your approach. And that's the missing factor. From the squirrel going like this, where shall I go? It just keeps doing that till the car runs it over. And that often happens in business as well. People carry on doing the same old stuff. I go networking and I post twice a week on LinkedIn, and we've got a website, but no, I don't ever do anything with it in terms of SEO or anything. It's just sort of there, and people, it doesn't win me any business. And referral. Oh yeah, we win a bit of business from referral. No, we don't have a system for it. We don't actually have a process. We don't have a referral marketing. No, we don't do anything like that. Sales training. No, I've never done any sales training. No, I don't do it. I'm okay. I'm a good salesman. But then when you look at the accounts and you look at the profit, Is there, let me ask you, on a scale of 1 being absolutely awful, 5 being average, the same as most people, 10 being truly world class, where are you in terms of your sales ability? How good are you? Wherever you've rated yourself now, unless you're a 10, and I don't believe there is such a thing as a 10, you could improve by training yourself. What about your sales system? The written process that you've got in your business for improving it. What about your referral marketing system? Do you have one of those? What about your system for search engine optimization, for optimizing your website so that it gets found under a variety of different criteria when people search for it on Google? Because, there are people probably searching for what you do or what you sell on Google right now, and your website ain't there. It ain't there if you haven't done anything. We've got to take action. Action is the key. So we've gone through number 4. Number 4 from Tony Robbins was change your approach. And number 5 is model success, which is basically what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. That sort of links in quite well, doesn't it? So I'm not going to talk that much about that. But if you want to come along tomorrow and know what model success is. But it's basically, not copying anybody, not, infringing their IP. I'm not going to go and copy somebody's text off their website or something like that. But I can model what they do, and maybe do something similar. I can go and find out information from websites. For example, I use something like called Uber Suggest, and that tells me what are the keywords my competitors are using to get found on Google. What are the links that they've got on their coming into their website that are enabling them to get rated higher than me? Then I can go and do the same thing. I'm not copying them as such, but I'm just modelling what they're already doing. Does that make sense? Again, I'm hoping it does. So we're just about there. We're on 18 minutes 45 seconds right now. So I'm going to draw it to a close. I hope that was of value. What I'd love you to do, if you would please, is to share this. I'm trying to get my messages out to as many people as possible. So wherever you're watching it or listening to it, please share it with loads of people. Share it on YouTube and LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you can. And let's try and, help as many people as possible with their business. That always was my goal when I started doing this 28 years ago. 28 years ago, I retired as a table tennis player. I thought, how am I going to get a job? I've got no work experience, 0 qualifications. I've not been to university. I'm 28 years old. What am I going to do? So I decided to set up my own business. And I've been doing that pretty much ever since. So it's great to be here. Thank you ever so much for being here. Thanks for sticking with me. And I look forward to speaking to you next time. Last thing, just notice below, you've probably seen this several times. It's me saying, would you like to meet up? I'd like to offer you a free, no obligation, no hard sell type thing meeting. We can do it over Zoom. You can go to my website at steve-mills.com, book the meeting, and we'll talk about you, your business, your marketing, and how it can be improved. At the end of the process, I'll say to you, look, if you want more help, these are a couple of things that we could do for you. I think that's pretty fair. If you do, get yourself booked in, and I look forward to speaking soon. Thanks very much for listening.